This is a video response to Mike Phillips at Tech PB. For the past several days on Facebook, he's been putting up pictures like this one, basically making fun of guys who play D5, sandbagging down there, knowing full well they could play at a higher level. Mike, as much as I respect your work, you're doing it wrong. I understand your frustration towards tournament players. Believe me, I really do. But you're trying to publicly shame people who really have no public shame. These are the same guys who will happily wipe a hit off on camera at a major tournament and go, doesn't matter, we got the win, lol. The better way to handle this is to ask one question first and then work from there. And that question is, well, what's the incentive? What's the incentive to stay at D5 rather than actually progress in the game? Does it cost too much to play at a higher level? Are they just down there to get easy victories? Are the tournament producers really not caring about the sport that they're producing and they just want the money? And yeah, there's several other reasons it could be, but that's just the three that come off the top of my head here. Once you figure out what the incentive is for sandbagging, well, then you start creating some sort of a solution for it rather than just making pictures on the internet, because that's just not going to work. If it's a cost issue, well, then you reduce the prices. If it's a prize issue, well, you make the prize pool a little bit larger for these higher levels. If it's just about getting the easy W's, well, then you lobby to have the rules changed so that you can only play on D5 for X number of years, and after that, you're bumped up, whether you want to be or not. And if it's a matter of the management just being happy to have players out there and taking their money rather than actually caring about the sport, you have the option to not play in that league. Let me put this simply, Mike, you run Tech PB. You've got a lot of people who will listen to what you have to say, consider it, and then possibly take action alongside you to help fix these problems. Making silly pictures on the internet, okay, that might make you feel better, but that's really no better than a child who's just trying to taunt somebody. You're not going to get anywhere that way. You might get a fight, but you're not going to actually solve the problem. You want a better solution? Mike, you've got power. All you have to do is put up a couple email addresses and have your fans write on their behalf saying, we are not going to come to your events and we are not going to compete at your events. We're not going to pay money to be at your events until you solve this sandbagging problem. Done. And you can't tell me that, oh, it's just a regional thing, they're not going to listen to people. Dude, you've got people all over the continent, all over the world who will listen to you. Use that. If it's a policy you don't like, you work within the system to change that policy. And if they're not going to change the policy, screw them. Go somewhere else with your money. But honestly, just putting pictures up on the internet, that's not going to solve the problem. Taking action will solve the problem.